you certainly had not just a strong quarter, but a very busy one with some big partnerships signed there. How do you keep the momentum going?
Well, I think we keep the momentum going, Akiko, with focus. I mean, our 2,000 employees at Emergent come into work every day, whether it's virtually or in one of our 9 manufacturing facilities, with a clear mission on executing and making sure that we live and deliver the commitments that we've made. And you're right, the second quarter was extremely busy for us. We put under contract $1.5 billion worth of contract development and manufacturing service contracts with companies like J&J and AstraZeneca, as well as directly with the U.S. government through our affiliation with Operation Warp Speed. So it was a busy quarter. I couldn't be more proud of the organization and the collaborators that we've chosen to do business with. So we're executing, and I think your last guest, Dr. Judd, made a really good point, which is, there's the clinical development challenge of these COVID-19 vaccines, and then there's the manufacturing and the development piece of that, which is where we focus. So we are hyper-focused on making sure that we are in a position to deliver on our commitments to companies like J&J and to AstraZeneca, to be in a place where we can manufacture hundreds of millions of doses of their vaccine candidates very quickly.
So let's try to break down some of those partnerships that you just outlined. You mentioned AstraZeneca, J&J as well. You're on the manufacturing side of things for this. What are the preparations that are being done right now? Because we've seen these companies enter a new phase in the clinical trials. The hope is that once they get the green light from the FDA, things can ramp up immediately. What are you doing specifically in preparation for that?
Yeah, so Akiko, we're making sure that once these candidates demonstrate safety and efficacy, whether it's in a phase 2 or a phase 3, to the satisfaction of the FDA, in parallel, we will be in a position with a validated, qualified manufacturing process to make the hundreds of millions of doses required by our collaborators for their products. So right now we are standing up and preparing to be able to manufacture later this year a number of vaccine candidates, including the 2 that you mentioned.
There's certainly a lot of concern about this vaccine race, in that obviously it's not just the U.S. that's trying to get this vaccine to market right now. There's concerns about hoarding, if you will, of supplies and not being able to ramp up in the manner that's needed, especially given the high count of cases that are here in the U.S. What are you seeing on that front? And what specifically are you doing to ensure those supplies that you need are there when you need to ramp up that development?
Yeah, it's a really good point, Akiko. And I think one of the things that the U.S. government has done really well through their Operation Warp Speed setup is to ensure that companies like Emergent, as well as our collaborators, have the support required such that we don't experience any long lead items, whether it's in equipment or any of the raw materials required to manufacture these products. So we're in daily contact with the Operation Warp Speed folks, and they're helping us prioritize and break down any impediments or long lead items required to do the important work that we're doing. So I couldn't ask, quite frankly, more of the government. I mean, they are doing exactly what they need to do.
Now, separately from working with these companies on their vaccine candidates, you've also got a COVID-19 therapeutic treatment in development right now. Where does the timeline on that stand right now, and how quickly do you think you can bring that to market?
Yeah, so there's some really exciting news there on that front, Akiko. On our earnings call yesterday, we announced for the first time that we expect to be in a phase 3 clinical trial with our human-derived plasma hyperimmune treatment in August. We've been working for the last 5 months hand in glove with the government as well as with our collaborators. We're leveraging technology that we have used for decades to make a number of other therapeutic treatments for other emerging infectious diseases. And we're applying that history and that expertise now to COVID-19. So what we're talking about is a human plasma-derived hyperimmune treatment that could be made available after the phase 3 to patients who are either whose occupations put them at risk, or if they're hospitalized and presenting severe illness, it's almost to be used as a rescue therapy. So we're excited about that. And we also have a second very similar therapeutic treatment that's based on our equine program. So we have kind of 2 shots on goal from a therapeutic perspective, and then we're supporting 4 other vaccine developers in their efforts.
And what kind of timeline are you looking at the end of phase 3? I know you're just starting it in August, but could we see this come to market before the end of the year?
Again, it's possible. We expect that the phase 3 will last a couple of months. And as soon as the data is ready, we'll be sharing that with the FDA and seeking, if warranted, to get approval to make it available on a broader basis.